Hey, what's up, everyone in the live stream? We're live. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Uh, we got some pretty cool guys here today, Adam and Phil Ramirez. In just a minute, guys, we'll let you guys introduce yourselves and do your spiel real quick. I just want to wait for some people to get in here.
Cool.
Um, so while we
Welcome to
wait,
the Unparalleled Universe and Cursed Dead Radio Show.
yeah, Adam, please be professional for your sake. Okay.
My bad. My
Yeah,
bad.
we're trying to sell a product here. Yeah. um, okay, well, good stuff. Yeah, that's yeah. So obviously, you guys have a crazy amount of history, and then now you guys are doing Cursed Dead. Who wants to talk about
Adam, you
getting?
go.
Yeah. So Cursed Dead is our 1/12 scale. So it's to go with your 6-inch action figures, and it's monsters and creatures and demons and spirits, and we're going to take characters that are like vampires and werewolves and mummies and wendigos, and we're going to take characters like that and put our spin on it. But we're also going to create some of our own characters, which you'll see in the campaign also, like Crankle, which I can't wait for Phil to talk you through that one a little bit. But these figures are basically like our figure right now as a prototype stands like just about at 7 inches tall when standing straight up and down. But I think you're aware of this, Wade. When you go into production, there is a little bit of shrink during manufacturing. It's production shrink. At most, it's like 4%. And that would be like around a quarter of an inch. So these guys will be like, their final height should be between like 6.75, 6.6¾ inches and 7 inches tall, like right around in that ballpark. So they will go with your 6-inch collection, but you could also fudge them into, like, if you collect 1/10 scale stuff like NECA pieces and everything, they'll go with that. But like these are meant to go along with your other collections. If you want to do a Cursed Dead shelf that's just Cursed Dead, great. I love that. I'm going to do that. But you can also mix these with your Valaverse figures or your you got monsters to fight your Monster Force figures. You can
Monster Force for sure. Yeah.
put them up against mythic legions or cosmic legions. Like it's like we want this to kind of go along with all of these other toy lines that are out there. You can use it against the mass market toy lines like Marvel Legends or GI Joe Classified. Whatever you want, we're purposely making them so that they can fit in as many different places as possible, but also be their cool own thing.
And talk a little bit about the articulation because when I was messing with the prototypes at Legion's Con, I realized something that I didn't notice before. Like the torso articulation, I don't think I've seen that anywhere else, where it's a diaphragm, ab crunch, and a ball joint at the waist. So that's pretty dope. But like, where the I know Adam, you love articulation, but was there any specific inspiration for the articulation on these?
So what's really cool about this is, like, so obviously Phil and I worked on a lot of the design elements of this. Like, Phil actually sculpted the whole drinker figure on his own, showed it to me, and I was like, this thing's awesome. I think I did like a little bit of Photoshop overlays, nothing too crazy. Like, I think I tweaked just a little bit, and Phil actually agreed with my art direction, which was awesome.
Nice.
And he made those tweaks, and then we finalized them for Designer Con in 2019. But I say finalized in that, like, we did two ups, so they were double the size, the 12 inches, and we basically did that because we wanted, like, them to look better in photos and be shown off. Well, like when people are walking by, it's having something that's 12 inches on your table versus something that's 6 inches. Size matters.
Yeah, it's eye
So
catching.
we didn't have all of the articulation like finalized at that point. But since then, Phil probably knew my coworker and friend Renee Aldrete before Designer Con. I think
I've known
so.
Renee
Yeah,
from
for a long time. But
Renee's amazing.
between when we originally showed these off and now, we actually, Renee is like an articulation genius. Like, he goes nuts on stuff. He knows what crazy person I am about range of motion. And whenever we get anything that doesn't move the way I want it to, I like yell at him and I tell him how bad he is, and he doesn't want to disappoint me. So
Can you give us an
he
example of
actually,
you yelling at him? I feel like he'll beat your ass if you yell
oh,
at
he
him.
would. He actually, yeah, I know. He's like he
Renee fights, dude.
yeah, he
gets
trains
out.
like like that's how he works out. He's like UFC like
Oh
training.
shit.
Like,
Yeah.
I never worked out in my life.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
think
if
he'll
you,
beat your ass if
I
you're
don't know
like,
if you could tell.
add more ab crunch. He'll just
I know.
fucking yeah.
He's like, you don't even know what abs are. It's accurate.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
so Renee actually teamed up with Phil to help finalize the articulation on this. And like if you scroll down a little bit there, Wade, you could see the exploded view.
And by teamed up, he means Renee made it look awesome. Renee worked
Yeah.
it out.
So Renee really took the prototypes that Phil had digitally sculpted and brought them across the finish line to be fully engineered, manufacturing ready files. So like these things, you can see stuff is parted out front to back. We have trapped joints, everything in there. And Wade, I know you got to mess with it. We did
Yeah.
the 3D printed playable prototype that you got to mess with at Legions Con and was also at Las Vegas Designer Con. And then I posted some pictures on the Cursed Dead Instagram today. It is ridiculously posable, but again,
Yeah.
it is a 3D printed prototype. So it's still got a little bit of limitations. You know, some joints are too tight, some joints are too loose, and that's just tolerances because of the nature of it being a 3D printed prototype. But this thing is going to move like crazy. I want this to be able to be like folded up into a little ball. It is going to be an awesome figure once it comes out of the factory. Like we're going to be all over making sure every bit of this functions the way that it has been digitally sculpted and engineered. So I'm super, super, super excited to start getting factory samples back, you know, hoping that we get funded by the end of this month. So, yeah, you
Yeah,
can
the
see my,
articulation is really crazy. Even on this like very early version of it, you could tell right away. Like you could almost I mean, you have a picture here where it's like almost look at that, like the crouch on here, and it could crouch even more than
even
that. Like
more than that. Yeah,
yeah.
that's not all the way.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I said, it's got that diaphragm, ab crunch, and ball joint at the waist. And you know what's cool is like even though like we probably don't see that setup often because it can make a torso look unnatural, right? But that works here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's meant to be
Yeah.
a creature, you know, like, yeah. So we had the benefit of like being able to design around the articulation and vice versa. So, yeah, this thing should be pure hand candy, as Grumps just mentioned. So, yeah, that's the idea. Is this thing is going to be a heck of a lot of fun to play with. You know, like
Yeah.
it's meant to be played with and posed. And then, yeah, you know, like just like Odious. Odious is like that too. You know, like that thing has crazy range of motion, is a bunch of fun to mess with. And then we also have our deluxe figures that will have soft goods. So it's like some of the soft goods hides a lot of that articulation, but shouldn't hinder it. You know, all of the soft goods that we have on our deluxe figures is not made in any way to like interfere with the articulation. It actually just kind of like covers, you know, like I always talk about like when I'm on live stream, I'm a big Mezco fan and I do love what they're doing, but there's certain figures that when you mess with a Mezco figure that are more fun to play with than others. Like there's some that it's like, oh, you know, these soft goods keep his hips from getting crazy. You know, like this figure just came out recently, and it's the genes on it are insane. Like it's like he can move like crazy, and it's like this is what we're going to be doing as well. And like all of our figures have like either robes or tattered gear or
Yeah.
pants that aren't like super slim fit tight, you know? So it's like we should have really every single figure in this line is going to be, you know, hand candy, a pleasure to pose.
Yeah. For sure. And I think like the fact that they're all monsters and stuff, you can get crazy with the clothing. Like you don't really need to worry about the fit. You
Right.
know what I mean? It could be loose and messed up and torn. This one right here is my favorite out of the ones that you guys have on the campaign. And I had a question on this guy. Is the base body basically the same and like the arm is just an added or the shoulder piece is just like an added over piece?
Yeah.
It is.
It,
Huh?
So this image you have right now is just kind of like what Dr. Crane looks like underneath the soft goods, but I'll post like exploded images so you can see all the different parts and pieces and the articulation there. But Phil designed like this arm. It's pretty cool. It's actually like it doesn't have the same articulation, so it's like very asymmetrical, which is super cool in
Yeah, yeah.
general in my mind. Like it's like what makes it interesting.
it has a
It's
lot of
got
moving
like
parts though, and
yeah,
weird.
ball and socket stuff and all sorts of like it's going to get some really good motion in his weird arm.
And yeah, I'm sure with you guys, like, you guys have both worked in the industry and you have all this, uh, this idea of how to make toys, but it's not always like in your control. Like you can make something, but it may turn out different. Well, it for sure is going to turn out differently by the time it gets out. You're bound to have like regrets and, wish things were different.
Right.
How exciting is it to do something like this where, ultimately you guys are in complete control? Obviously, the factory is going to do something. That's the way it goes. But like, ultimately, this is your thing, and it's going to be how you guys want. How exciting is that?
It's very exciting, especially if it gets funded. then it isn't just a complete, spending a bunch of time making the stuff. I mean, it was fun to make all the stuff, but it is awesome to just make whatever you want.
Yeah.
It
No,
is. It's
I have
incredible.
no doubt that it's going to get funded. Hey, just so everyone in the chat, if you guys don't know, I have a pinned link to the Kickstarter in the comments. So if you guys haven't funded this, get on it now. Don't wait. So it doesn't charge you until the very end, but it's key to get it funded quicker so these guys could show off like other things. Phil just mentioned that they had 7 different designs that they've kind of like, put on the back burner. And I'm sure there's other ones. I know there's ones that were shown at DesignerCon back in the day that aren't here that I'm probably the most excited about. I
That's
don't know
the
if you
second
guys.
body type. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's a whole different body?
Yeah,
totally.
the werewolf and the pig are
The pig and
are
werewolf.
another body type that I mean we're equally as excited about that. Like I know everyone's very excited about those because like it is super cool. The drinker body type, the skinny body type was just what we went with first. Like we want to do more, guys. Like
Hey,
we're
but
like
the drinker,
the
but
ideas.
don't
Yeah.
downplay the drinker though, because I think the drinker is just as cool as the big like the big werewolf is dope and everything, but the drinker body is awesome. And you guys have come up with like some really cool variations. And it makes sense to go this simpler route first, and hopefully this goes so that you guys could do the more complex things, right, with the bigger
Right.
bodies and stuff.
That's the
So
plan.
yeah, no, totally. But like these right here, I'm really surprised how different and diverse like the looks are given that it's just one body. I was going to comment on that because the body has like these characteristics that work for different types of things like demons, or I was
That's
kind of
why
thinking
that's why I built it like that. Yeah,
yeah.
I made it plated and weird, and so that everything you can make it a lot of different things.
Yeah, you could even do like a sea monster kind of thing. Like,
Oh.
Well, that's an interesting idea, Wade.
Oh.
well, because the legs look like they have like
Oh.
I'll be. That's a good idea.
Maybe if we hit our funding goal, there'll be a stretch goal.
Maybe after I get off this pod, I'm gonna go do something like that and finish it up.
oh no. Well, I want everyone to know you guys didn't give me any hint about that before. That was just
No,
like it wasn't like Adam told me and I let a cat out of the bag.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
talking based on what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's what.
Wade, can you do me? Is it possible to full screen the Kickstarter?
Of course.
Because I want to just point out, and this is something I don't know I tried to keep the Kickstarter campaign page as clean as possible. So the painted images are of just the figures themselves, but right below the painted images are the line art versions of the sculpt that have all of the accessories that each of the figures come with. Because I've seen some comments already online that are like, hey, we're not sure that these come with enough accessories and stuff, but it's like, hey, that basic drinker figure, you get 3 heads. So you get the open mouth drinker head, you get this creepy smiling mouth head, then 8 of the 9 figures get this articulated jaw skull head. I will be posting more pictures of this. I just didn't want to like throw everything out there right away. I want, like to build excitement and get people to keep coming back and keep looking at pictures. But 8 of the 9 figures, the only one that doesn't come with the skull head is Dr. Crane, the fly guy, because it didn't feel as right stylistically with him. But you'll see these basic figures come with 3 sets of hands. So there's like grip hands, fist hands, and kind of like open claw hands, and then some of them come with other accessories. So you're on the Jinn right there, which is like he's the evil genie. He's got a crazy genie lamp as well. So you got 2 heads, multiple sets of hands, and the lamp for the basic figures. And then the deluxe figures also come with at least 2 heads, multiple sets of hands, soft goods, and there's some additional accessories with them as well. So I don't know that it's as clear to everyone in the Kickstarter campaign, even though it does say that if you read it, like,
well, Adam, no matter what, with Kickstarters are hard to understand. You know what I mean? Like it's you talk like I didn't think about it. I went all in as soon as you guys posted it. So like I didn't go, there's not enough here, whatever. But like I could understand why people would be confused even with your pictures and stuff. So the way you get that information out is like this way. So now like everyone knows, or people know, and just keep talking about it.
Yeah, so there's Dr. Scante right there without his lab coat and pants. You see he comes with a big, crazy, retro style, like, blaster thing. But he's also got the articulated jaw skull head. And in addition to his, like, claw crustacean hands, he comes with the regular hands as well. So it's like if you put the skull head on that body and then want to do regular hands, and then you have this weird, like, cyan kind of skull guy, it's like really cool. Like, trust me, more pictures are coming. The versatility of these will be a lot more apparent as you see more, so just bear with us. We promise all of these are really cool, and we are trying to pack in the value here, like, just want everyone to know that, like, we're not trying to like get rich off of this. We're trying to make toys and make a successful toy line that we can then grow from. Like our goal is to not just like one and done this. It's like, oh no, we're getting started.
Hey, I got a question about Crankle. What is this material that his clothing is made out of?
Just found at it's like netting.
So
okay.
Phil, I have to I'm feeding Phil stuff to talk about. Phil, talk about your family background and stuff with this.
Oh yeah. I put together some of the clothing as well because I come from tailors. I was a tailor from the age of I worked at a tailor shop in downtown LA from the age of 13 to 16. So
you did all the prototype for the soft goods?
Not all of it. I didn't do the pants all the jacket. Like I'd get a jacket. And we had a jacket made. I cut everything up. Like I sewed up the Crankle, this thing around here, and I cut all the parts and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then the Wendigo, I made the pattern for that. I cut that piece, and then strategically wiped it so that it had movement in the fur. We'll see how that comes out. But yeah, I did all that.
Yeah, the Wendigo looks really dope, man. I saw
that one came out really cool, man. Yeah. And you get up into the face, like I had him. If you know Wendigo, the story of the Wendigo, they eat. They just need to consume all the time.
Yeah.
So they end up eating themselves, and that's what the ripping of the face. It's he's clawed out a lot of his flesh, and the accessory is an arm that's just been eaten. That he uses like a club. That thing right there.
Oh yeah, it's missing the yeah, that's really dope.
Chewed off all the fingers, and like you'll see the bone inside of there, and like I spent some time on that.
No, dude, the face is crazy. Yeah, I should. We had this one at display at Comic-Con, right, Adam?
Yeah, it was at your spot.
Yeah, this one looked really cool. and then you got like the Wendigo or like the deer head kind of thing going on.
Yeah, I wanted to make that thing absolutely abstract, like using the antlers, making them like a diseased deer, you know,
Yeah, yeah, for
like something
sure.
that doesn't shouldn't exist, you know,
Yeah,
that if it was alive, it would be in a whole hell of a lot of pain.
I love Wendigo. It's like it's the Wade crew in horror action figure form. So that's definitely one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, he came out when I was done with him. I was pretty happy.
yeah, he came out dope. So I wanted to ask you guys. So Adam kind of already said it, but out of these ones that you guys have already shown, which ones are or which one for each of you is your favorite?
Ooh, I think, man, yeah, cause I don't know, man. I came up with all of them, so I don't. I mean, most of them anyway. Like I don't.
They're all his babies.
They're my babies. I mean, I mean, Crane was kind of the beginning of this.
I
You know,
think that yeah,
I built
that
the
right.
drinker. I built the drinker, and then I immediately did the Crane. So the Crane is like I want to have that figure to mess with it when it's all set to go. Because I think it's going to be able to do some really cool stuff. I like the asymmetry a lot. Wendigo came out really good, but as far as a movie that I'd like to see, it's Gordy.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Gordy's
no, Gordy.
story is dope. I
Yeah.
mean, like, so Phil came up with like the vast majority of the backstories here. Like, I did some simple edits and I tweaked some stuff here and there, but like, the stories, like, those are like some of my favorite things because like I always talk about how much I love like the old GI Joe file cards, like is like one of my favorite things where it's like they give you just enough info to get you interested, but then it's like you get to go off on your own and like do whatever you want with this character. And like honestly, like the I hope people do go through the campaign and read some of the stories because there's some great concepts in there, and I'm just I feel blessed to even be involved with some of the
Well, you
creativity
looked at
behind.
everything like everything could be its own horror movie, like
Yeah,
standalone
Oh,
horror
okay,
movie.
nice.
Each character, like Gordy, could be its own horror movie.
it,
Which is why the packaging is, if we get it done correctly, will be VHS tapes
Oh, nice.
for the monsters, like the modern monsters, but for the
Yeah.
demons, we're gonna do old books. So it's the same packaging, but we're gonna do VHS tapes and like black and white, old school, like 1800s books.
so
Yeah,
they're
that's
gonna
dope.
be
That's
they'll
a
be
dope
like
idea.
kind of like the Marvel Legends VHS. So they'll be
Right.
oversized because like the figures are
Yeah,
bigger, but they'll be like the proportions of a VHS tape. So it's like the regular monster characters look like 80s VHS movies. We do have some artwork that we'll share over the
like a
course of
Tales
the
from the
campaign.
Crypt, man. Like just
Yeah,
like
nice.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's that's fucking awesome. That I
Yeah,
like that. That's a really cool idea.
I'm a huge horror fan, man.
And
Like,
the idea too is that so unlike the Hasbro ones, it's going to be a lot closer to like what the Monster Force packaging is. So it'll look like a VHS tape, but it'll have a front flap that like kind of
Okay.
velcros, opens and closes, so you
you can
can
see it.
look at the figure inside.
Yeah,
But
And
yeah,
collector friendly, right? So you could
yeah,
repackage it.
yeah.
exactly. I mean, like take your toys out and play with them.
Yeah,
But
hell yeah.
yeah, let's share
He starts it with
the
"Let me."
odious scale picture. I went through my toy collection and took pictures of our drinker prototype with a lot of different toy lines, just so people could have an idea of scale. Now, noted, and people are going to have to read and or listen to me right now, but they're going to have to read when I post these pictures that ours is a 3D printed prototype. It is going to shrink slightly in production. It's usually 4% or less. So it will be a hair smaller than this. Not anything dramatic. In fact, most people say 3% is almost imperceptible to the eye. Like, so in general, it's going to be slightly smaller than this. But yeah, it's going to look great with a lot of different toy lines. I think Odious being one of them.
Yeah, I think I think the drinkers are definitely a nice companion for Odious, especially like with kind of this type of lore that I have going for them. I think those kind of characters work perfect. Um,
I actually have all of the prototypes like behind me right here. And
do you feel like grabbing one and showing it a little
well, yeah,
closer?
I mean, like I have stuff at the ready. Uh, the
Oh,
the drinker is right here.
cool. Yeah, see, that's dope, man. Can you lift it up just a little bit?
Here.
Yeah, that looks good. Okay, uh, motherfucker. Oh shit, there he is. Oh, he looks. Yeah, he looks bigger there. Cool. I mean, the drinker does.
He'll get right down to that though.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. Can you show the Gordy?
Gordy is a 2-up.
Yeah.
So
I didn't. Man, this guy.
I'm just saying
He's
it's
fucking-
big.
I don't give a shit. So Mike painted. Well, Adam's doing. I don't know what Adam's doing.
Mike painted Gordy.
So Mike painted one, and then oh shit, I'll ask you guys. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I like. That's really dope. Oh, I love the the like the triple face on the pumpkin.
So
Tell the story.
Yeah.
every time Gordy kills somebody, he gets another face.
No, oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. So if it was a movie, at the end of the movie, he's gonna have a face all the way around his head.
Oh shit,
All the different
Yeah.
faces all the way around his head.
that's so dope.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun with that. I was excited to do that one.
So
That one just came to me like, I don't know. I was dicking around drawing, and there's an actual drawing of this thing that's pretty spot on to what it came out to be.
no, that's cool, and you know the lanky proportions work really well for like a vine. You know, like a vine.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
character.
That's why it works. He's got a big head. He's got a skinny little vine body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Brown says, "Damn, I want a 2-up." I was gonna ask, is there any potential of doing like that scale? Because that does. I don't know if it'll work for everybody, but for Gordy, it looks really cool. Like that bigger scale.
I mean, like you know, that would require unique tooling just
The
for
cost would be
12-inch
nuts,
figure.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
So it's like, could we do it? Yeah, for sure. If there's enough interest, if people were like, "Yo, do these at 12 inches," I mean, like, sure. I own a handful of 1/6 scale stuff, but I can't usually afford 1/6 scale figures in my collection.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna like it's possible, but that's not in the plans.
Not currently. No.
Yeah.
Let's do the 1/12 for now.
Adam, do you have more that you could show? I mean, we've already seen all these. I think it'd be cool to kind of show them on camera like you're doing with Gordy. I think you get a different feel from as opposed to just the pictures. If you holding it around, spinning it around, and all that cool stuff.
You can really see what's going on.
Yeah.
Here's
This is great.
This is the 2-up of Dr. Crane. So Dr. Crane here. Dr. Crane is freaking gnarly, guys. Like, Phil went to town on the sculpt. Like,
Ooh,
it
man.
is nuts.
Who
And
painted this one?
he has the most unique sculpting. This is Beardy.
Beauty.
Nice. The goat.
Yeah, dude. Beauty's the man.
The nastiest part. This is
What?
That bothers you so much.
It is
Oh.
so
Oh, that's
freaking
gross.
I don't know if it'll focus or if the lighting is.
Those
No.
the white.
Well, move your white ass hands.
Hold on.
No, it's the white of the maggots.
Oh. The light was reflecting off his cracker ass hands. Oh yeah, that's dope. So I can't wait for him, man.
There's all sorts of weird stuff I put in there, but again, I couldn't go. You don't want to go too hyper detailed because it's going to be so small. So you're just kind of
right.
Yeah, you kind of you simplify it to some degree.
And he's like, I don't like his. This is
Oh, that's so cool.
that's like a flesh hand. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's literally.
That traps
Oh
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that traps
forgot
there.
about that. Can you put that closer to the camera, Adam? Yeah, so that thing around his wrist is like the old, like the guy's hand before he turned into like his human hand.
And he's
Yeah.
got like crazy foot thing too. So that's why like he's the only of the deluxe figures that doesn't have like extra hands and the skull head and everything, and that's because he has a bunch of other unique tooling that kind of, like we thought brought the same value, as the other deluxe figures that have multiple heads, multiple hands, and the soft goods.
So in maintaining the core body, you have it's kind of modular. So you remove the shoulder, you remove the pivot here, and then we use pieces to trap here from front to back the other arm. So you still have tooling. You're able to utilize tooling, but you're able to take these other parts and kind of build another piece off of the trapping of these other pieces.
So his arm is still going to function pretty much like the arm would otherwise.
Well, you trap all this part here, and then we have a piece coming out that's the shoulder ball. Then the arm basically locks into that, and then the arm is like 6 pieces or something. It's crazy. The big arm.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and all those pieces will move. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it should be cool. That's why I can't wait to get him in hand, like to be able to play with that thing.
So here's the Jin.
Oh shit. See, Adam,
Beardy as well.
You did a good job with the pictures and stuff, but seeing like this, it makes it look so much cooler. I know you can't pose it or anything, but just seeing it move like that looks way better than the picture.
Yeah, well, like I said, we're going to show more pictures. There's going to be more stuff. It's like, and these prototypes, like I was saying earlier, you were asking if there was any more photographers. Next up, these prototypes are going to Josh Falcon because he's going to do some additional video content and everything, so that we can post over the course of the month. The Jin also, like, I want to show this, but like I broke it earlier and I haven't fixed it yet, so it's broken. But this is his lamp, and it's cool. I don't know if it'll.
No, it's gonna focus on your face, so get your face out of it.
But the cool thing about this, it's like a crazy skull thing, and it is articulated, so it like opens up and stuff. Like Phil put some of the craziest detail just into this guy's lamp. Like, Phil,
that's a crazy looking lamp.
Well, the lamp, if you like tilt it upwards, it's a skull. Turn it the other way. So the bottom, show them the bottom, where your finger is. So that's the inside of a skull, and then all the other pieces are metal locked into the skull.
Yeah, and this hinges open, this part, and there is a ring up here. That
the ring up there is a spike put into the neck of the dead person, and then everything's kind of dipped in metal. So it's like somebody. And I referenced a ton of like old lamps, like from like thousands of years ago, and so the way I sculpted it was to look like an old, like somebody hand chiseled each piece. Yeah,
not like a Disney Aladdin typical kind of clean lamp.
Yeah. When I research things, it was I always go into like weird.
He has to clear his browser history.
Weird shit. I look at weird shit. I've got some books that are like wild. We used to use them for Resident Evil and like what was it? Baron Zemo. I did a Baron Zemo figure for the original.
Yeah.
And his removed mask head.
Yeah.
I reference like heavy duty plastic surgery and like war explosions and people getting their faces put back together. Oh, I have books of like skin conditions and shit like that I was like looking through.
So this will make a good kid's toy.
Yeah, the Baron Zemo's head is twisted. The unmasked Baron Zemo head is absolutely twisted.
Oh. So Adam, can you show the crinkle or crankle again? Because,
but I do.
Ray Paz also says looks far better than the pictures. So Adam,
my pictures suck. Yeah, you're welcome.
No, it's not your pictures. It's just that figures. Why do you think like in hand shots do so well on Instagram? Like there's something appealing about it. It makes it feel more real, and it's more accurate to what someone is going to experience.
Yeah, it does look. It looks way wilder when you're holding it right now, dude. That thing looks way more crazy.
It looks super cool.
It's weird. Like I'm holding his soft goods in a way where it looks like he's showing a lot of thigh.
Got to have the thigh so he moves.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, he has
Oh,
cup.
now his nuts are hanging out. Or what is it?
Yeah, hold on, wait. We don't want to show his nuts. Wait, it'll get uncomfortable.
Yeah. I really like the look of that soft goods though, because it looks like skin or something.
This character is so creepy. I'd say that he might be my second favorite. Like it's like
Yeah, he's pretty up there in terms of I like that the story and like he's basically like alien that gets really into the Santa Claus lore
Oh,
and takes it upon himself to he's like a Santa fan who basically waits for kids to wait up for Santa Claus to take a peek at Santa Claus.
yeah.
And then he skins them
Oh,
and puts them on a Christmas tree.
damn it, man. I thought it was gonna be a nice, wholesome.
Oh no, dude. I read this. I wrote the story and read it to a group of kids. One of them being my daughter, and they were all like, kind of, they obviously tripped out, and then they were like, "Is that real?" I was like, "No, Dad just made that up."
hold please. I've got more Crankle stuff here too. So Crankle comes with 3 sets of hands. He comes with the skull head also, but then he also comes with this really creepy Santa skin mask.
That's nasty.
It's like a friction fit. Like I'm not gonna be able to do it on camera because it's hard printed prototypes, but this will be a slightly softer durometer plastic, and it kind of friction fits right onto his face to be this creepy skin mask. And he also, in addition to the articulated jaw skull head, so it's like these deluxe figures come with a bunch of stuff, guys. He also has an unhooded head. So that is the unhooded head of the Crankle right there.
Nice. That's nasty looking. I like that he likes Santa so much that he grew a beard.
No, it's those are like phalanges, like
Oh,
they're like little fingers.
Phalanges.
Yeah, if you look at it, yeah, we painted him to look kind of white because we didn't have anybody that was that color, and yeah, he's got like they're like little. They would move like this.
oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Okay. And you know what? I'm not gonna wait. Here we go. We'll show.
Shout out Ed Kemper,
Here we go.
Rabbit Hammer.
We're gonna strip Crankle.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. So this is what Crankle looks like without the robes. He's like that kind of like light bluish gray kind of color. And there's his unhooded head. But you also get, multiple sets of hands.
Oh, what head are you putting on there?
This.
Oh, there we go. There's the painted. Oh, that looks dope right there.
And the skull head, the jaw open. Oh,
Your
Oh
you
my
see
god.
it?
Can your arms reach your camera?
Please, bro.
There will be nice, clear, white background pictures that you can hate on tomorrow, okay?
Hey, Adam, stand up and put it in front of your shirt just so they can see the jaw open because
Oh, Adam's mad he didn't think about that.
Yeah, everybody makes fun of my voice the same way. Do, 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 do. There we go.
Oh, see, look at that. Perfect.
Yeah, turn that.
The problem is now I can't see what's on my computer.
You don't need to see. We need to see.
Yeah, we got it. Just drop it. Yeah, perfect. You got it.
Oh, there we go. Very cool. Oh, that's dope.
I feel like I'm knocking the jaw off.
It's gonna.
It's coming off.
It's fine, but you can see it how it works.
Yeah, very cool. Are you still sitting down, Adam? No, wait.
Such an asshole.
You got up. You were the same height. Bring it up just a little bit, please. You're like dropping down. There we go. That right there, right in the center. That's cool.
So yeah, every skull is gonna be the color of the character. So you have, yeah.
You can kind of put together like an army of skull-headed monsters, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool, man.
And then I do have the 2-ups of hate and rage So these are the Demon Brothers. So we offer these. These are basic figures. We offer them both as single basic figures, or you can buy a 2-pack of the both of them at a slightly discounted rate. So these guys obviously will have multiple sets of hands, and they also have the skull heads. So they will make for some cool either demon army builders or skeleton kind of army builders.
Oh man, who painted these? Beardy?
I think. Did you paint these, Phil, or did Beardy paint these?
Fuck, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. These were painted a while ago.
I
That
think
red
Beardy,
one.
I think
The red
Beardy-
one is really nice.
I think Beardy painted them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Beardy painted them. I think so.
Yeah,
Shit.
and they'll honestly like these are ones where it's like I'm gonna have to do likely some Photoshop work because of the 2-up size, but they're gonna look really cool with the skull heads as well. Yeah, so lots of different choices. Wendigo, Dr. Scante. Who else do I have that's not in here? But yeah, you got to see a good chunk of them.
Ray Paz says, "Will that be the size? Because they look crazy." No, those are 2-ups.
Those are 2-ups. Yeah,
The 2-ups. Yeah, you can see all the detail for them, but yeah, they ain't gonna be that big. Those would be wildly expensive. Yeah, they would be cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I think those 2-ups might have confused a few people, but yeah, those. Adam, do you want to show the official size? I mean, it'll shrink from what you have, but the drinker that's closer to the actual size.
I know you're gonna show it proper, but dude, the Gordy skull is pretty cool.
Yeah, and then it looks. That's a tiny figure. I should put it next to a figure that's like a normal size, right?
You fucking short ass Wolverine.
I know.
Go next to a Marvel Universe.
And then like Casey Jones had freaking Crankle's part of Crankle's robe.
Oh, that's cool. See, even just a little bit smaller is cool. It's a little bit bigger than like a 6-inch figure, which is awesome.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's 7 inch. This is 7 inches standing straight up and down, but it's going to shrink like between a quarter of an inch, like or less. So it'll be like 6.75 inches at the absolute shortest.
What's the expected dates?
Yeah, we have the ship dates set for March of 2026, so that's like a little over a year away. I think that's pretty darn safe in general. Like the goal is to get them shipped out of China before Chinese New Year. March is what of next year. Then we're hoping to meet or beat that is the idea.
Very cool. Hey, I got a question. So, I know you guys mentioned some other content like outside of the toys. Do you guys have any types of plans to, like, you have all these cool elaborate stories? Do you have any plans to turn those
you didn't
into
read?
anything? What's that?
Cool elaborate stories that you didn't read.
Well, put them in a motherfucking comic book and I'll read them.
Honestly,
not a bad idea.
Yeah, you want me to read these fucking black words on white background?
I will say, like,
I need pictures.
Yeah.
Phil mentioned earlier that like Josh Falcon is like his best friend. Jesse Falcon is Josh's older brother. We're all friends with Jesse as well. Jesse loves comic books, knows a ton of comic book artists. Trust me, we've been talking to Jesse about like, hey, we'd love some comic book artists to do some stuff. So like, yes, shipping is not included in this Kickstarter campaign. It'll be invoiced separately once it comes time to ship. I am hoping, like we're fingers crossed that the tariffs are more of a bluff and bluster for deals, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Honestly, we'd rather not have to deal with crazy tariffs on action figures that cannot be made domestically. Like we can, this is stuff that can really only be made in China. I know some companies
Right.
like are using Vietnam and looking into other places,
Mexico.
but with stuff that's like this level of detail, articulation, and everything, it's like you really can't get them manufactured any place else. So that's why we got to do it there. And honestly, it's a bridge we'll have to cross when we get to it.
Rabbit Hammer says, "Yeah, Wendigo is looking like my favorite." Yeah, the Wendigo, we saw it in person at Comic Con, and man, it looks amazing. It looks really dope with the antler mask and the. I think at Comic Con you had it displayed with the bone mask on,
Yeah.
and it looked really cool. It says hips are ball hinge or ball swivel.
So if can you pull up the Kickstarter campaign? You can do the exploded view and show him.
Sure. Yeah, give me just a second here.
So they look like more of like the they're like a ball hip joint, but they're actually produced like they're very similar to like what is on like modern Marvel Legends and stuff. It's actually just a ball that's entrapped because design wise with the thighs, it fit the best rather than us just doing a straight thigh cut across. I think that's what he's asking about the ball hips, but
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a design choice, but it will function and look the same as like a Marvel Legend or Odious or any more of the modern figures.
The Pop and Son collectors, Adam, can you answer that?
He says, if we want to add to our pledge by getting more figures, do we have to cancel the initial pledge or just
No,
hit
you can
back to the
go
project again?
go in, you can modify your pledge so you can change. So the way Kickstarter works is you have to pick what's called a reward. So pick whichever reward has the most stuff that you like. So if you want 3 drinkers and then one other figure, pick the reward that's the discounted 3 drinkers. Or if you want all of the basic figures and then 1 deluxe, pick the reward that's all the basic figures. And then once you pick that reward, there's a section immediately after called add-ons. So you can add on the item that you want. But the way you're going to save the most money is like pick the reward that has the most amount of stuff that you want in it and then do an add-on for whatever else you want. So that should all be set up in there. Like everything is available already. Like I set it up that way right from the get-go.
Fortress Madamus says, will there be head packs?
I was just actually I was chatting back and forth with a guy on Instagram today about potentially like whether people, and like this is a great question for the chat because like someone asked if there was going to be any heads or hands or whatever with blood on them. And I was like, not initially. Like the ones that we have right now, it's like, it's meant to be kind of just like a basic figure. But I personally would love to do like a bloody variant drinker or something.
Oh yeah.
So my question though is, would people prefer, and I asked this of the guy on Instagram, would they prefer like bloody hands and bloody heads that you can just snap onto your figure so it's like an additional pack, or would you want it to be like a full figure bloody variant so you get the figure with all the heads and all the hands and it's got blood that's not just limited to like the mouth and hands, like it's got some splatter on the chest or forearms too or something? Like what would people want more of?
I would like a bloody variant figure. I'd buy another. That'd make me buy another one.
I feel like that is
Here's a question for you, Wade. Fresh blood or dried blood?
Oh, that's a good question.
So black or red?
Fresh.
Probably fresh, yeah, because black would be some cool. I mean, you could take some cool photos for
dried blood is pretty.
Yeah, like wandering around a forest with dry blood. Looks like he killed something hours ago.
Yeah, exactly.
But if a vampire, I mean, at that point, he's probably dying himself because.
Yeah, they're dead.
I have
they're already dead, huh?
Speaking of
they're
dying all the time.
Yeah, that's true. So I know you guys haven't really got down this path yet, but is there plans to have Big Bad Toy Store hopefully stock Cursed Dead?
I would
Hopefully.
absolutely love Big Bad Toy Store to carry Cursed Dead. So I would hope that we're gonna have a talk with them about that in the near future. For the past couple of years, I've been looking for any alternative to Kickstarter that I could find, and you can see that we have a Kickstarter campaign that launched January 1st. I was unsuccessful in finding alternatives. Win or Lose just backed. Thanks,
Hell
man.
yeah. Good
Everyone,
shit.
please, if you're interested at all, go back. Go back it. They won't charge you until February 1st.
Make sure you guys are following Phil right here. It's Ramirez Studio Inc. 3D on Instagram.
Yeah.
And make sure you guys are following Adam as well at playing_with_myself on Instagram. And then also make sure you guys are following Cursed Dead, which is, let me make sure I have it correctly
Got
here.
periods between each of the words.
It's at the cursed dead. All right. So hey, you guys, I wish you guys the best.
Thank you, Wade. Thank you for having us. Always a pleasure hanging out.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. And
Thanks, man.
look forward to having you guys back on at the end of the month. And if there's anything I could do to help push it on, please don't hesitate to ask. I'll be happy to do anything I can to get these going.
Yeah, dude. And thanks for everybody for who pledged. That's really appreciated. And
Remember, you don't get charged until the end of the month. So pledge early.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and also
next time you're in town, let us know.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Back it now.